Someone on the beat, oh get up and shake your cheeks.
Hello and welcome to The Middle is Open. Abel Carrillo here, along with Anthony Espelin.
What's up, guys?
Anthony, you're back over there on the other side, man.
I'm back in the booth, baby.
Why? What did Ben do wrong?
Nothing. We made some improvements to the show. I got some cameras, so we're testing some stuff out here.
All right. Peter Carrillo, across from me.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Peter?
I made it back finally.
Yeah. Well, so where were you last week?
I had to take a day off, man.
Why? But what?
You'll laugh at me. You'll judge me if I tell you why.
You had mimosas, right? Brunch.
No.
What did
I
we?
wish.
What did we say Peter was doing last week?
I don't remember.
I don't know. You guys were cracking up the whole episode.
It was actually a good show. Really good show.
So it's better when I'm gone.
I'm not saying that.
I get all.
It's better when
offended.
Pat's here.
It is better when Pat's here.
I would
Okay,
say
so who would you rather have, Anthony? Peter or
Oh, man.
Pat?
I'd rather have Pat because then I get a day off.
Yeah.
No, actually, I just had to catch up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, on sleep.
Sleep, work,
Yeah.
chores.
No, but it was a really good show. You being on the outside, did it sound good
Yeah.
with you out?
Yeah, it was really good.
Were you laughing at us?
I was laughing at Pat. Dude, Pat is, and you and I talked about this.
Yeah.
Pat's one of the guys that you could just have around, and he just makes you laugh. Like,
Yeah.
he's just a funny guy.
He just puts a smile on your face,
Guapito.
you know? But anyways, Ben, he's over there in the booth. I don't think he's mic'd up, but he's doing a really good job with our Instagram, putting out those videos. They're hilarious. The double murder one, that was cool, Ben. Very funny.
Good job, Ben.
So if you guys haven't checked us out on YouTube, you could go ahead and do so. On The Middle is Open, no space. Check out all our videos on the YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. And then follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Ben, when are we going to do that TikTok? You're kind of slacking over there.
When we have enough content.
When we have enough content. So now it's back on us.
He basically says, "Shut up, Abel."
All right. Well, anyways,
I'm on
Peter,
it.
we have a really cool show today. You wanna introduce them?
Yeah, we got Imperial Legacy Clothing company. How do you guys go? Imperial Legacy.
Imperial Legacy.
Okay, Imperial Legacy. They're a local. They're local here in El Paso, but they've been all over the place, right? I mean, you guys just came back from New York.
Yes.
Marcus, can you tell us something about your company?
Well, it's Imperial Legacy Clothing. It's me and my sister. We're both CEOs. I do the designing, and then my sister pretty much runs everything else. And it's a sibling effort.
Oh yeah.
Is there like you say sibling effort, but is there a sibling rivalry here?
We're not rivals, but we have our.
We're not always best friends, you know what I'm saying?
Very
Typical
true.
siblings, you know.
Who's
we have our
like
moments.
the head?
I'm the Omega.
Okay.
Oh, and he lets me know it. He
Oh,
lets me know
okay.
it.
I'm 8 years older, so you know.
You gotta push your weight
yeah,
around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm older, but I think Abel kind of spearheads a lot.
Mm.
I just kind of like to supervise from the recliner sometimes. Like, hey, okay, you're doing good.
Don't make me get up from here.
If I get up, I swear.
No, but so Peter actually reached out to you guys. Peter, what was the main reason you reached out to Imperial Legacy?
Basically, I saw some article that came out. I followed them on Facebook, and I saw an article, and I was like, oh, man. They're going over to Fashion Week in New York City. This was before you guys left. And I was like, that's awesome. But I was going to message them then. But then I was like, man, they're probably busy. They're doing their thing. So I believe it was when you had just came back.
Yeah.
And I sent you a message. I was like, oh, you want to talk about your experience? I mean, Fashion Week is a huge event.
Yeah. Because
but
Peter knows fashion, right?
No, but I mean, you hear about that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. I don't follow fashion. Yeah, I know about it.
Yeah.
And then it just made me think about some of the things we used to talk back when we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what are we gonna do down? I had just got into radio. You were always doing your thing, but it was like, you know, we're at a certain level, and we're kind of like, man, he's gonna make it big, or I'm gonna make it big, or you know, you have those.
That's when
dreams.
the dreams start cooking.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone has a dream, right?
Yes.
And then So I'm sure your dream was like one day I'm going to be doing Fashion Week in New York or whatever.
Yeah, and then you always have those haters that are like, yeah, whatever. You wouldn't be here if you. Yeah. I mean, not talking down, but that's just the way it was.
Definitely.
All right.
So when I found out that they hit this milestone, I call it a milestone. I don't know if it was a huge milestone for you, obviously, or.
Oh no, it was.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, because let's be honest, I didn't hear. I knew you had your company and you were selling clothing and you were designing clothing, and I didn't know how that was going. I mean, this was just the article alone showed me that you're doing well, so that's why I reached out.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to hear what's been going on since the last time we spoke face to face. So I mean, if you could elaborate on that.
Let me see. So, when we used to work together, we barely were starting pretty much. So we were trying to find out what our path was going to be. Design-wise, what we were going to cover, what we were going to do. I think at that time we were just doing basically T-shirts. So we're still in that T-shirt phase, trying to figure out if we're going to be a full-blown clothing company or not. So I would say significantly over the last 5 years, we found a path, decided what our look was going to be, and that's what we've been focusing on.
I was gonna ask you, do you try to gear it towards like a look that's kind of going a national look that you follow fads going on, or do you kind of try to keep something local, or what's your vision for your own company?
So since I head up the design half of it, what I would tell you is it's something I heard DMX say like 10, 15 years ago. He doesn't listen to fellow artists at all. He only listens to his own music because it keeps him authentic. So it's the same way for us. I don't tune into anyone else's designs, anything like that. It's all pretty much whatever we come up with. So it's the influence is more I would say pop culture, a little bit of history, a little bit of art, all kind of fine tuned together to come up with our design of who we are.
All right, so I want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back. Like, how did this idea come up from the very beginning? Because I kind of want to take this journey with you guys. Because you said you started off with just T-shirts.
Yes.
What were those T-shirts like? And then walk us through like when it went from T-shirts maybe to like everything else. Okay, how many years ago was this when you first popped up in your head?
Well, honestly, I would tell you, I always wanted to be a fashion designer since I was probably like 8.
Wow.
I've been an artist, so I always was drawing and doing stuff. But as a male, it's kind of hard to break into fashion because people don't take you seriously, and then they want to think other things. Since I would say the world's changed, where you have a lot more ability to do what you want to do, be who you want to be. So I was working a part-time job at a call center, and I had a sketchbook, and I was drawing something out. Dude passing by, he's like, yo, you should put that on a shirt. I said, you're right. So that's our very first design. So it's a Cobra. It's called Technicolor Nightmare. It's what it ended up becoming, the final production of it. But that was our very first shirt that we ever did.
How long ago was this?
About 10 years ago.
Dang.
So we kind of floated it out there to see, kind of feedback and everything. Paso's a weird place, so you don't always get the most positive feedback. But, that didn't stop us. We kept on moving with it. We also incorporated hats. And growing up with my dad, he's a woodworker. So I learned how to make jewelry and things out of wood. So we were making, back then, chains out of wood. That was the logo of the company. So we had the hats, we had the T-shirts, and then we had the basic wood chain jewelry.
I remember that you had. It was a big chain. It's not something I would wear because I have these back neck problems and it kind of hold me down a little. But,
Right.
But they were pretty big, man.
Well, everyone thought they were like real heavy, but they're actually super light.
Oh.
But they appear to be way heavier than they actually are.
Dude, that's cool.
You know how like in college football they have like the chains now?
Oh, yeah.
Like when somebody scores a
Yeah, the
touchdown
turnover
the
chain or
turnover
whatever.
chain. We should get UTEP to like wear one of your chains.
Right.
Yeah, but the problem is UTEP's always creating the turnovers like on their side,
Whoever gave up the turnover had to give
so
up.
they just
Hey,
they
don't
give
talk
it to,
bad. They're
they give it
3-1
to
right
the
now.
other
They're
team like
3-1
here's
right
the
now.
turnover chain,
I
guys.
had to throw out UTEP right there.
Anyways.
Hey.
All right, so 10 years ago you had this little dream, right? Of just like making clothes, and then you started doing the chains. Okay, how'd you run into this guy over here? How did he meet you?
We used to work together part-time at night at Home Depot.
Oh yeah. And what you think about him?
Oh, he's cool.
Yeah?
His energy, I guess I want to say we were attracted to each other by energy.
Yeah.
He's a positive dude. Things he wants to accomplish, same thing with me. So we clicked on that. So
Yeah.
it was always like, inspirational, positive talking all the time. Because, you have some coworkers that kind of suck, and it's cool when you meet people that you click with. So
I think I had just started in radio, or I was about to start in radio.
You were just doing a kid.
I was doing a college radio station first.
Okay.
And then I went into radio, and then I was like, man, see, I'm going to make it big. I didn't make it big. I didn't go to like New York or anything, but it's all good. We're here with my crew right here. Look at that.
All right. So you start doing the chains and everything. When do you guys start gaining some traction?
So I say me and my sister started doing local things, like artist events, music events, things like that. And then we clicked into a local show that isn't in effect anymore, but was back then, called Fashion Inc. So we did a couple seasons with them. Still kind of branched out, did a couple other shows, and then we linked up with El Paso Fashion Week, started doing those shows. Mm-hmm. So all those shows kind of helped us to fine-tune who we were and get our path together so that we could do stuff like New York Fashion Week.
So, like, how big is, because, like, okay, this is all new to me. I'm a big sports guy. I love sports. We were talking about the NBA earlier, but I love sports. I don't know much about fashion. I've lived in El Paso all my life. What is the scene like here in El Paso?
It's a solid scene. Honestly, I think a lot of people don't even expect that the fashion scene is what it is down here. I mean, they have shows all the time. There's a lot of big ones. You got a lot of pageant winners that come from El Paso too. So, I mean, it's a pretty solid.
Pageant winners and what? Like the
Miss
beauty?
El Paso.
Like the
Oh,
Miss
okay.
El Paso,
Miss
Miss
Texas,
Latino
stuff like
Paso,
that.
Yeah.
And they reach out to you guys too.
Well, they're usually a part of El Paso Fashion Week. They're some of the key models that walk.
Okay.
And so some of them have walked for us. So like in our 2 recent campaigns, we actually have some of the like teen winners and stuff in there.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And the outfits you guys are wearing right now, that
Yes.
it's your clothing.
Yeah.
And is there a place where people could find your clothing?
Yes. ImperialLegacyClothing.com.
Nice. So when it comes to fashion here in El Paso, I was looking at your guys' website as well as your Instagram and everything. I read that story on El Paso Matters or whatever. Yeah, that's the publication, right? El
Yeah.
Paso Matters. And I was just kind of looking at it. Is there a certain crowd that you guys are geared toward, or is it for everyone?
It's definitely for everyone. Like, I think my brother designs for how he dresses. He's always dressed out of the box. I'm sure you remember from working with him, right? So he's the kind of guy that'll put on some pink poodle Jeremy Scott shoes and be super confident, where a lot of people can't. So I feel like it's really for anybody that is comfortable in their own skin and wants to make a statement.
Yeah, and the reason I asked this question, because obviously you guys are coming out of a city that's like predominantly Mexican American, right?
Right.
So you guys, I mean, you guys are designing clothing, and that's where I was like, well, what is the style of El Paso? You know, is it, because what I was seeing
cost
on
effective?
what's that?
Would you say cost effective? I mean,
Yeah,
I would say that.
Yeah.
For majority of El Paso.
El Paso has his own look, I'd say. I'm a very eccentric person. I say the best time of my life is when I decided that I didn't care what people thought, and I just kind of do my own thing. When I started doing that, I just kind of, I guess, got super comfortable and just, like I said, I wear what I want to wear. I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
I wear loud colors, colors that other people don't tend to
Yeah.
go with. El Paso is a little bit more reserved a bit. You do have the people that stretch out there,
Yeah.
but there's not a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Because, okay, I'll bring this up. So, like I said, I lived in El Paso all my life, but when I started seeing, like, I don't know what fashion is, but when I started going over to Juarez, those people know how to dress up. Like, a lot of people in Juarez, they dress really well. Like, and I'm not talking about the people that are coming from Chihuahua. They come to El Paso and they have, like, that, there's, like, that stigma, like, the chilangos and this and that. Like, when I was going to Juarez, I saw, like, a lot of people, like, they like to look good. They like to look a certain way. And I was just like, man, they know fashion. They know what, how to express themselves in a very unique way. And that's why I was kind of like, well, what do you guys like? What is your crowd? Because I was looking at your guys' clothing, and like you said, you have a lot of color on your, like, it's like, I don't know, it kind of like punches you in the face. Like, there's a lot of stuff on
Very
there that
eye-catching.
I was like, man, can I pull that off? You know?
Well, of course you can. I mean, it's about being you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what Imperial Legacy is. It's about expression. It's about fashion. It's about art. Everything that you wear from us is like, you know, it's expressible art. It's moving, walking art. Everything. It's a concept behind every single piece. There's a story behind every single piece.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just your average fashion.
See, I'm so far from it. This is what I wear.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing
24/7.
when Peter told me, we were gonna have a fashion designer in. I was like, man, we don't know anything about fashion. We wear shorts and t-shirts like every episode.
Like going into that, would you or have you ever done kind of like little seminars, I guess, trying to educate people on fashion, or have you even thought of that?
It is something I've thought about, and I've talked to people like on a smaller scale that don't have questions about things. Just because I know how it was when we started out. We had to teach everything that we know currently. We taught ourselves.
Yeah.
We did the research. We learned about it. Got on it online and studied. That's how nobody assisted us in getting to where we got to.
I just feel like some people would be more open to dressing up and getting some different clothing or reaching out, if they knew how to go about it. Like myself, my wife basically irons my clothes. She puts it out for me. You're not gonna wear that shirt. That one doesn't match. Yeah. I'm like, what the heck are you talking
He's
about?
basically
She
like
says
a Ken
black
doll.
on black doesn't go. She says this and this doesn't go. You don't put this, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
What are these rules? I didn't know about that.
Like, who makes these rules up? So
See, I guess my outlook when it comes to fashion was a little different only because I grew up with women. It was my mother, my aunt, my sister. House full of women. My dad's in the military, so he's always gone. So it's just women. So it kind of banged me in my head about things that men usually don't care about. But it's like, hey, no, that's not blue. That's teal. That's not teal. That's like, what? And then she's always in my face about that kind of stuff. So it kind of stuck in my head. So I look at things a little differently than like your average man would look at it.
like,
So-
that's not blue. That's purple.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, I only know 8 colors. How many colors do you know?
Depends on what you're looking at, and there's like so many tones and so many
Yeah.
like there's not just one red. There's like 20.
So, like, if you worked at Home Depot in the paint aisle, you would be like, oh, and then
That's
I can
summer
tell
red.
you. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I know 275
Sunset
colors. What do you know?
It's a number code.
Yeah. Number code.
There's a catalog. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's right. There's a code that breaks down all the different shades.
Yeah.
So depending on what you're gonna create, you'd have to go through and find the color that matches the color that you have in your head. That way you can tell the manufacturer that's what you want, so they can make sure that the color matches,
Yeah, yeah.
and you don't get it and you're like, oh, this is not what I said. So
I got an idea for the future for you guys. It's an app, okay?
Don't
no,
listen
check
to
it out. Check
don't
it out.
listen to
Check
him.
it out. Look at.
It's
So
going nowhere.
you don't know if you match or whatever. You take a picture, you submit it, you give it a rating, and you say appropriate, and then you could even give each rating like or the clothing like appropriate for dinner with friends or whatever. I think that'd be a cool app.
Ooh.
And then like they're set up, okay, and that confidence, like your sister said, you gotta have that confidence wearing it out. And some people are so indecisive. I think we live in a very indecisive society.
Definitely,
I agree.
definitely.
So in this app, you take a picture, boom, submit it, and a professional designer consultant will give it a rating. They have to put a description: going out with friends to have drinks, and you give a rating.
that's actually a good idea.
Right, because everybody's
It's
always
a-
looking for a
it's a
second
solid
opinion.
concept.
Yeah.
It's a solid
damn.
concept.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Damn. Damn. Peter, you shouldn't have told them that. Now they're going to run with it.
No,
Dude,
no.
We
could
said that
be-
offline.
You know what,
I know.
man?
Dang.
It
dude.
just hit me because that's something I could use. I'm there in my gym shorts, like, is this appropriate to go out
Yeah.
to
Okay.
go have dinner?
Yeah. Okay.
with
So
my wife.
that's another thing.
Is this shirt blue?
So like, I was looking at your guys' clothes, and I'm just gonna say it. Like, a lot of the stuff is like, it's really cool, and it seems like it does give you that confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when would I wear some of the clothes that you guys have? Is it to, like Peter is saying, is it on, going out on a date, going something like just
Social.
yeah, something
We kind of
social.
have something
going to-
for like every occasion.
Yeah.
So like we have more casual clothes. We have things that you could wear to work. Like I did an interview at work like 2 weeks ago, and I wore something that we have. So
Yeah.
it just kind of depends. It just depends on your style, right?
Yeah.
Because some people dress up for everything. Like one of the APs at my high school, she always has on heels no matter what. She's at a football game in stilettos. So it just kind of depends on you.
Yeah.
That's skill.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never
on
wore
the
high
grass,
heels or anything, but I just feel like that's skill.
Yeah, because I was like, man,
She needed the app. Like, are these
yeah.
stilettos appropriate for a football game?
No, because like, okay, because I wouldn't say like right now you guys are just looking at me. I'm wearing shorts and a long sleeve shirt with a gym cap, you know, but I do like to dress up, and there are times when I tend to wear just like neutral colors just because I'm like, I'm just gonna wear this. It's safe. I look good in it, whatever. But then there's times I want to like, you know, go outside that little box and be like,
Step your game up.
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah,
You need-
exactly.
You need
Like,
the app.
I'm like, dude, it's 2021. Like, I want to look good. And the reason I say this, and I'm gonna admit this. So my girlfriend, she has like this really cool Calvin Klein like purse,
Okay.
and I'm like, dude, that's unisex for sure, cause it looks fucking badass. Like, and there's times when she's like, we'll be shopping or whatever, and she's like, here, hold this. I'm gonna go try this on. So she'll have me like wear her purse. And I don't care. Like, I really don't care. Like, I'm wearing a purse. I'll be in Walmart or I'll be in, like, the mall or whatever it is. And I'll wear her purse. And I'm like, dude, this shit looks fucking cool. And she even says, like, dude, it looks cool on you. It looks really cool. And I'm like, damn.
It was like, can I pull this off?
Yeah. And I was like, dude, I kind of want to buy one for myself because I wear a wallet, okay? And, like, I mean, I have a wallet. And, like, I always have it in my pockets. And I hate shit in my pockets. It just makes my pants look like
Yeah,
too
bulky.
bulky. And
Can you tell he's the one that likes the fashion stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
so like, and then I wear like a slimmer
yeah,
jeans.
like
Like
pockets
Peter tends to wear like these baggier jeans, and I wear like, you know, slimmer jeans.
Right.
So I don't like shit in my pockets. I like to be comfortable. I like to like show off my legs and this and that. So I'm like, why not get a purse
Do you guys have man purses? I mean, is that what you call them?
or a
We have,
satchel?
well, it's more of a. We wouldn't even gender specific. It would we just say that
Bag.
we have different bags that you can have. The reason why we try not to be gender specific is we want you to know that you can take anything can be for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to put a skirt on, hey, if it fits you, knock yourself out. You know what I mean? It's really about doing whatever falls.
Yeah.
Like, for example, what you comment, like, so I have this harness on right here.
Yeah, no, and I saw that,
Okay?
and I was
so
like,
this is like one of the favorite ones for people. You got pockets on the outside, pockets on the inside. And
I
this is
wore those
basically-
in the military, by the way.
See, so
like,
what this came from
my
is back
canteen
in
and everything.
1986, we lived in Italy. My dad was stationed over there.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
So he had a friend that had a Gucci harness. I was like, yo, Dad, I want that. He's like, we're not paying for that. I said, you know what? I'm going to become a fashion designer. I'm going to make my own.
yeah,
So there you go.
Hell
Damn.
yeah, man.
Like
There
30
you-
years later, here it is.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bo, I found your
It looks
Christmas
good, man.
present right
dude.
there.
No,
It looks
and
good.
okay, so I bring this up because, again, I tend to wear fanny packs. I
Right.
know they're not the most fashionable things,
I bought
but
you
I,
They're coming back.
but,
They're
I,
coming
but I,
back.
I wear fanny packs because I go on runs, and then again, I don't like keys in my pocket because sometimes I don't run just outside. Like I'll go like 35 minutes across town to run in a specific spot, but I have to have my keys with me. So I'll put it in my fanny pack. I'll put my phone in there, and you know, like, and the fanny pack holds things in place. You know, like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I have like 3 or 4 fanny packs, and then Peter bought me one. But I'm like, I need something to go out in, you know, like a fanny pack to go out in. And that's why
Yeah, see?
I'm like, dude, I like the purse. So going back to the purse, is it okay for me to wear that purse?
I said definitely.
Hell yeah. Look at that.
It's all about confidence. If that purse feels good with you, I would rock it.
Hell yeah, guys. That's the only reason we had you on the show. Thank you so much for listening. No, that's cool. Hell yeah, dude.
Abel's gonna carry a gun in there, so if someone makes fun of him, he's like, "What? What now?"
Dude, I don't even own a gun, Anthony. I've never even shot
Water
a gun
gun.
in my life. Okay.
What do you guys have in the future as far as like more accessories and all? I mean, how far does this go out? It really up to you,
Shoes.
right?
It's endless for the most part. I mean, now the pandemic helped us and slowed us down at the same time. We had shows scheduled that we didn't get to do during the pandemic, so now we're playing catch up right now.
Yeah.
So some collections that were supposed to come out during that period, we held on to because we like, you know, we want people to experience that concept a little bit more the way we wanted it to be. So now we're going back and releasing a little bit more to try to catch it up. Because like this year and in New York Fashion Week, we dropped our button ups, more casual things. Because what we're pushing for now is to give you that loud, but then also that soft too.
Yeah.
So for the people that, all these colors are too much, we have stuff that doesn't have the same amount of colors, same style, just a little bit more tame for the person that can't get with the loudness. So, but just keep creating and keep adding to our collections.
I want to know how you guys how'd you guys like make that jump into getting invited to Fashion Week in New York? Because I mean, again, like I feel there's a part of the story that we're missing out on.
So basically, like how he said, I handle all the business stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I started applying to things. So
Okay.
you have to be accepted into any of these platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So I filled out an application. I went through the onboarding. It was everything has like a lot of steps, and we got accepted. So we had to basically present our art and what we do, and then they had to say it was up to par to be able to present it.
Dude, okay. So I know you said you're the Omega, right?
Yes.
But it sounds like she's the brains over there.
I don't know, but me and my sister, I didn't explain the whole thing.
She's like, shut up.
Me and my sister are straight up yin and yang. So wherever I stop at, my sister picks it up and goes. Same thing where she stops at, I pick it up and go.
Yeah.
There's no me without her. There's no her without me. We're a team.
Yeah.
So we're a perfect example of what siblings want to be and what they should be. We weren't the best growing up, we're typical siblings. She got on my nerves, got on her nerves. But for this to work, we have to be in unison and work together.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of want to show people that, siblings can do anything.
Yeah.
As long as you put your mind to it, focus. And
Yeah, and see, that's funny that you say that, because they always say don't like mix business with family,
Right.
because it tends to, like, if it fails, you guys like
You have a resentment.
Yeah,
towards each
exactly.
other.
right.
So how do you guys keep that balance?
By giving each other the room to grow. And what I mean basically is that I'm not going to say I don't, but I try my best not to chastise my sister about things that don't work out. I try to be understanding and just, give her room to do what she has to do and respect, what she's in charge of, and she respects what I'm in charge of.
Mm-hmm.
I think that understanding alone gives us both the ability to be co-CEOs and then come together to make more things happen.
There's like an 8-year difference between you two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So how does that go into your guys' fashion? Because, I mean, I'm not going to give away your guys' ages, but there's that 8-year difference. That's almost a whole decade, like a different generation. I mean, fashion changes like very rapidly, right?
Right.
So, I mean, are there things that you feel with your clothing line, you guys are like, hey, you're saying like, hey, this is going to work, or she's like, how do you guys,
We actually do it kind of just like that. So
Yeah.
I come up with a concept. I'm like, hey, what do you think? She's like, you know what? Nah. I'm like, all right, we'll scrap that. You want to add something to this? Oh, we do this. And all right, what you think? Boom. And then we'll do it. So even though I'm the designer, she still has her voice and as far as what I'm creating.
Yeah, basically. And sometimes he'll want to try something, and I'm like, I don't know. And we'll just try it and see what the response is. Because sometimes I don't see his vision, but then the world sees his vision. So a lot of the things where I'm like, oh, maybe that's too much. And then we went to New York, and they're like, oh my God, I love that. Like, how do I get it? I want it right now.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, sometimes we have to wait and see what the world's reaction is to what we're doing. Like, neither of us really know, and we got to see what everybody else is kind of feeling.
Based on your website and the orders that you've gotten in, where has your clothing actually been purchased out?
So we get majorities in Texas, but we do get like some offshoots, like places that we don't expect, like North Carolina. We get Atlanta, like just like randomly through the United States.
Yeah.
But always, of course, Texas, because we're in Texas. But we'll get places like we'll come across someone, or someone will come across someone that knows us, and they go to their website and they'll grab these things or stuff like that. So we've been focusing on Texas for a while. So now it's time to get away from Texas and start focusing on the rest of the United States. And then, of course, the world and everything.
That's cool, man.
That is cool. So you mentioned like the pandemic was kind of like, it was like a blessing and a curse, kind of, sort of, right? Because you guys were able to do some of the things. But, like, okay, so I guess my question is, do you think like the clothing that you guys are putting out right now is what is popular, like among like where we are as society? like, I don't know. Well,
So even though it's not made to be a trend, I do feel that what we do create does fall into what people like, especially I'll say 2020, 2021, and moving forward, people want to speak more for who they are. They want to be a little bit more creative and things like that. So we fall right in line with that.
yeah, because I mean, I'm not calling you guys calling you guys a fad, but I'm saying like, how do you guys continue to grow later on down the road?
Because we don't box ourselves in whatsoever, we're pretty much, our collections are endless. Like I said, because it can be something that's real subtle to something really, exorbitant as far as the colors and everything. So that's why I say it's never an end to what we create, because we do everything. Like we do men's, we do kids, we do women, we do extra small to 5XL. Like we don't exclude anybody from what we do. And a lot of companies do. So that's another thing that kind of separates us from everybody.
Well, and then the fact also that all of our collections have a meaning behind them. So it's not just like we're putting out clothes, like some like our lookbook for feelings, where it's completely centered on mental health. The Scripted Sins, which is about pop culture and combining like cursive, because of cursive is like dead these days and the kids don't even know it. They look at it like a foreign language.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna bring up. So you talk about how you guys incorporate like some of the mental health, and as well as history, Black history, and things like that. Where did that idea come from? Because when I went on your guys' website, there was like a brief summary of where this idea came from, and I was like, dude, that's fucking cool. Like, you guys are talking about like history, like you don't really hear that. I mean, maybe you do, but like you don't really see that.
You don't, and it's something I push with my sons. Like, there's so much more history than what you learn in school, but you have to want to like get that information and that wisdom. So growing up, my father, he's real big on Black history. So a lot of stuff that the average kid didn't know, I knew, because that's one of his things. So like for instance, we did our 1921 collection, which is about the Oklahoma Massacres. A lot of people don't know about them, but due to different shows over the last couple of years, it's become more prevalent to people about what's going on, especially like if y'all watch Watchmen, the one that was on HBO, that whole focus was that entire situation. But we've been pushing it for 5 years already. We had different collections that put 1921, people just didn't get it. And then when all that came out, I was like, oh, so they connected to it.
Do you feel that, again, going back to like the time that we're in, now it seems like they're kind of like today's society is kind of showcasing minorities. Like, this was the first time I've ever seen, like, maybe I'm wrong, but this was the first time I've seen like Hispanic Heritage Month out on like the national stage. Like on ABC, they did a special. I've never seen ABC do a special. Right. I know ABC and CBS, NBC, they've been putting a lot of Black history, as well as like the whole, and I'm just going to be honest, like I had no clue what Juneteenth was or anything like that. But now it seems like today they're really pushing like, hey, there's a lot of history out there that we never told the story, And do you think that like that's kind of why your clothing resonates with today's, America?
I would say yes. Like I said, as we mentioned, like the clothing speaks. It's not just, everything there's a story behind it. And so like, for example, like I feel like today's society moves way too fast and you don't take the time to learn anything. So that's another reason why we incorporated history, so that, maybe you see something that catches your eye and you want to find out more about that. So then it's going to give you the idea to go and research that, to find out, hey, what is that? Or what is that concept based on? And, maybe it'll inspire you to get some more wisdom.
No, I mean, I'm just listening, and I'm thinking of some of the last pieces you had, like just your name overall. It makes me like, okay, why Imperial Legacy? Like, what was the behind your name?
So, Imperial Legacy is it's basically two concepts. Imperial is basically because we're all kings and queens in our own right. So you as a man, you as a husband, you run your family. You're in charge of making sure they survive and do better, and basically influence them to do the most they can with themselves, especially as a father raising sons. So then you have the legacy part of it, which is what you leave for your children to grow from. So Imperial and Legacy comes together because it's an ongoing experience that families and people should have. So that's how my sister comes in, because I wanted to do something there. It was me and her showing the world that we could do something different that hadn't been done before. So here we are, running a fashion company, one of two businesses that we have together. Nobody else, me and my sister. So.
No, I like that. See, crazy.
See, like, we don't have that cool of a story. I started this podcast.
Well, I asked, like, when people say, why the name for the middle's open, and why there's like, why is it the middle's open? Like, there's no, the apostrophe s, or it's like Abel just made a mistake. He didn't.
No.
He didn't put it.
No. It's funny because, like, you guys are like doing this as like siblings and stuff. When we first started this podcast, it was like Peter and I, we just kind of wanted to start something together. We're both in radio, and we're like why are we working for other people, like, and I'm not saying this is gonna like turn into anything big, who knows,
It's all
maybe
about passions, right?
yeah, but it was just something like, we have a voice too. Like, you guys have a voice, and you're obviously doing it through clothing. And we have our voice, so we're doing it through just being stupid and talking on the mic. But it was something that Peter and I can share together. Mm-hmm. Like, we're siblings. We're always going to be siblings. And then, so that's why, like...
Well, it's kind of gone on to, like, when we do our broadcasting. We're the only broadcasters that are brothers, and they just call us the Carrillo Brothers. Like, they just... Like, who's calling this game? The Carrillo Brothers are. Okay.
Yeah, and it's cool, man. Like, I enjoy, like, working with my brother. Like, there's a lot of the times we call each other idiots, and he doesn't like me, and I don't like him.
Because that's how it is. You're working with your sibling,
yes.
but it's like there's nobody else that you could trust as much as you can trust your sibling. There's nobody else that understands you the way that they understand you. It's a special bond.
Yeah.
So when you can take that bond and build something, it's even better. Like, me and him, like, we're 8 years apart, so we didn't like each other growing up. But nowadays, like, no matter what, business comes first. So it doesn't matter if I'm mad at him, he's mad at me. We put that aside to reach whatever goal it is.
And ultimately, it kind of heals the conflict. From
basically, and I think it makes our
other stuff that didn't matter.
Exactly, and it makes our bond stronger.
She knows that she's the only woman I trust.
Yeah.
I don't trust any woman. She's the only one I trust. She has my complete trust over anybody else. So, I mean, when it comes to my sister, I mean, I know that I can give her a task, or she can give me something. She knows I'll complete it, and I know she'll complete it because it's something that, we count on each other to get that, get to that final point and everything. So,
what happens when one of you guys don't complete the task?
Never happens.
Really?
Yeah, and
really?
Yeah.
Why you look at me?
I look at Peter and I'm like, can we trade siblings?
We've come a long way. We've come a long way.
Doesn't finish anything.
What do you mean?
Well, I think that's the other cool thing about it too, is like, sometimes you can tell your family more things than you would tell anybody else, right? And so you can be a little harder on them and be like, look where you're coming from, and they won't get offended because they're family.
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But you want this?
No, there's a note right down your. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Anyways. Are you guys the only siblings? You guys have other siblings?
No, it's just us.
Just you two? Okay.
Yeah. So obviously it's you two, like the duo, this team. Are there any other parts of this this story, this journey that have helped you guys along the way?
I say, well,
not at all.
Well, yeah, people have been around the way. Yeah, like one of my friends from high school, she's been a part of it. We've had people come around.
Oh, speaking of shout out to Blue. She does our social media since day one, because basically we have someone that kind of handles everything. Mm-hmm. My oldest son, he does a lot of technical stuff for us as well. We try to keep it family. Real family orientated.
That's good. Yeah, because, the reason I bring that up, again, it was Peter and I when we first started, and then we later on brought in Pat, and then now we have Anthony over here, and it's all, just one family. We're all from the same neighborhood, Right. And these are the guys that I trust more than anything. Yes, you have, a lot of friends, and there's acquaintances here and there, but at the end of the day, you want to do it with people that you love, that you trust, that you can, you could have those head-to-head encounters, man, the hell with you, you're an idiot and this and that, but you're gonna come back together. Has it ever come to the point where you guys are like, that's it, I'm done.
Oh man, it's siblings, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
it's
like
like-
it'll be like that. Like I'm not doing this, and then an hour later he's like, "So you're ready, right?"
An hour
Yeah, I'm
later.
ready.
Because we fight, but we know that in order for it to work, we have to work together.
Yeah.
It has to be, synchronous and together. It has to be both of us.
Not all
It's not the
siblings are
same.
like that though.
Yeah.
I've heard of siblings like they won't talk for months.
That they're so petty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think for us, like the bigger picture is always what keeps us focused. So no matter what kind of sibling stuff we're going through, we'll put it aside because we see the bigger picture. We know where we're headed and how much work we put into it. So to like not do something or not follow through because we're mad at each other,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like, really?
I had a question. When you guys were in New York, do you guys get to choose the models or they're kind of assigned to you?
We actually got to choose
Gotta
our
choose.
models for both shows, so that was nice.
It was different from here because usually their casting calls in El Paso, the ones we've been in, either they have their models already picked or it's select. We had a choice to bring models with us or pick from the pool that they had.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
it was really cool.
If this was your pool of models, who would you pick?
All y'all, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, you
use-
can
I
only
use
have
all-
one.
All right, we don't want the
I know you're
political answer.
inclusive.
Yeah,
I know you're inclusive and you want to.
this PC answer of yours.
No, honestly though, I feel everybody can be used when it comes to modeling. Everyone has a look that I can capitalize on when I look at models.
Based on
Everything.
what you are,
how
your
you,
body
how you come in
type.
dressed, how you walk, how you talk. Because I look for attitude. So once you put something on, I need you to be able to wear that and make it, like it's yours.
Own it.
What'd
Yeah.
you give Abel? Like what?
Yeah.
What's a basic?
If you let me
outfit?
dress you, I'm gonna put you like in a button up. I'm gonna put you in some matching shoes with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put you in a fanny bag with something that you hadn't seen before, like cross body, something like that. I have you looking real.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could also see him in a jersey with the
Jersey, cool.
shorts, because
Right.
with the pockets,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And even though he doesn't like pockets, I feel like those are deep and they're, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely could see him
You're
in
gonna
that.
see him post something on his Facebook today. He's gonna be like wearing his 49er jersey with his calzone. They don't have pockets.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony. What?
Yeah, man, I need some help, man. I've been wearing
Yeah.
Dickies since middle
He's
school,
like
bro.
Grease Monkey.
Yeah,
that's all
Dickies
he-
forever and Converse.
Let's see. I'm telling you, like we take it from like the subtle to the more up top. Like I said, like for men, I always feel like you have a polo, you have a button up, you have a regular tee, but then you can always take a tee and don't make it more of a designer thing by the patterns and things that are associated with it. And basically, like when I'm styling somebody for something, I go with the person and the vibe I get from them.
Okay.
So,
So what's Anthony's vibe?
Anthony, when's the last time you wore like a suit or something?
My mom's wedding.
I can't for the life.
Well,
of
I
me
work a
think
lot
of-
too, so I wear
Yeah,
uniform.
yeah. He's
and
always
so,
like,
I'm
but
always
like
in my
I
uniform.
want to see Anthony dressed up.
Yeah.
I bet you he'd be like his big hands.
His big
He's a
hands.
good looking guy, man.
I think he'd look good in a button up.
There we go.
See,
There
like,
we go.
unfortunately, like Pat's not in studio
Oh,
today.
Pat's
but
handsome.
like, I feel like you guys can definitely
model.
dress up Pat and make him look good. Because
He could be a model for you.
yeah, I'm not
gonna
saying
lie.
anything about your models, but I think Pat could have been one of your guys' models for sure.
We're always looking for male models.
He's
Yeah.
a good-looking guy.
I mean, he just had a
probably-
kid, so
he
he's a
probably
little
weighs
huskier.
like 100 pounds now. Or
Yeah, he's like about 75 pounds heavier than what he was before he had his kid. Because like, look at this.
75.
Yeah.
Shit.
You talk about attitude, right? You talk about attitude. I mean, you don't get much more attitude than that. Look at that face. Like, he looks like Zoolander. So, like, I mean, what would you do with little El Guapito there?
there's a lot. I mean, especially
He's a PGA pro.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
so-
and he's in golf.
so,
Oh,
nice
man.
I was
polo.
already thinking, like, looking at him like
Oh, yeah, he's a
fitted
golf-
polo.
Yeah.
Oh, fitted polo.
Yes.
Because you know how people like to wear their
Yeah,
polos
yeah.
these
Yeah,
days.
accentuate
Oh,
your
that's-
arms and
that's me.
everything. So
If he ever needed an outfit for a tournament, would you guys
Oh,
be?
most
yeah.
definitely hit us
interested
up.
in, like,
Okay,
dressing-
Oh,
yeah,
we love to do
so-
stuff like that.
That's the question that I was going to ask, because I don't know who. There's a quote that I pulled out, and I hope I like wrote it down right. But it's like, we can literally clothe you from head to toe, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
My sister. Yes.
And okay, so I was like, damn, could you guys maybe come up when Pat's big, because he's gonna be a PGA pro, when he's big and he's out there on the course teaching all his people like how to golf, and like I'm talking about like these are rich people he's gonna be dealing with. How are you gonna dress Pat out on the golf course? Would you guys jump into like sporting apparel?
Oh yeah, we kind of do a little bit already.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, that's nothing to do that. Like I said, we do shoes already. So
Yeah.
we have 7 different shoes.
I think so, yeah.
So right now we have 7 different shoes. We got slides. The ones she has on her feet right now, those are ours. The ones I have on, those are ours. Socks, everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we'd have them matching up all crazy, depending on.
Yeah.
Oh, we could
his
definitely
mood,
I could totally see that.
Yeah, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but like golf has totally changed. Like it's actually cool to play golf now. Like back in the day,
Right.
it was like an fat old man sport, right? Very white sport. Now, like you go out on like to the golf courses around town, all around the
It's very
country,
diverse.
and
There's
it's
a
like
lot of-
very diverse, and there's a lot of young people out there. I think one of them is I can't remember the brand, but they came out on Shark Tank and they were like just showing their clothes, and it's very loud, it's very like colorful. It's like it's not your normal like wear your golf polo with some slacks, and it's
Right.
like it looks cool, like it makes you want to golf. So like I could definitely like see you guys like with the clothes that you guys have, I could definitely see you guys like potentially making your like your entry into golf. Like that would be sick.
We'll introduce you to Pat.
Yeah, definitely.
You
Almost,
guys could
yeah.
fit him out. He'll be out there.
They're like, we need you to drop 75 pounds. Like, seriously. And get that goatee back. No, but
So what's your guys' next like view for the future? What's your next step? You guys only do online? You guys think about getting a store? Or?
We have thought about that. We're just not sure where we want to put it. We don't know if we
It's
want to
hard.
do it in El Paso, if we'd rather just like be carried in different like department stores. We're not sure yet. But we're definitely trying to expand. So we've already been invited to a show for next year in New York. We want to start like leaving the country. So our next big goal is to show in Paris or Milan.
That's awesome.
And
Oh, yeah.
so
Oh, because we have a show coming up in San Antonio actually.
Fashion for Life.
Fashion for Life.
Which is for domestic violence. It's to highlight that.
So more than likely, we're gonna probably tap into like our mental health collection for that, because that's something that we play up in all our collections as well. I left it off earlier, but we do also use a mental health aspect and everything as well, because I feel like the society, especially America, does not pay attention to mental health and does not give it the credit that it deserves. I am a mental health case manager as well, so it's something I implement in everything that we do because I feel like it's a concern that more people need to pay attention to.
you guys, when I was reading that article, you guys are you guys had that military background, like you mentioned, you guys lived in Europe and stuff, but then also like, do you guys consider El Paso home?
Basically.
I would say kind of. My
Yeah.
mother was her. We were all here at one time. My entire family was here at one time.
Yeah.
So since this is the second longest place, I would say yeah, Texas for sure.
The reason
You're
I
a nomad. Just
Well, you know how military brats are. We just
Yeah.
we everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
we were talking about
kinda
Saved
go
by
with
the
the flow.
Bell. He's like the AC Slater. Because AC Slater was military.
Yeah.
True.
He was going to leave Bayside at one point. Did you
Yeah,
know
full
that,
circle.
Peter?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So,
Actually, that's one of my favorite episodes.
all right. So speaking of Saved by the Bell, you guys actually had an encounter with Lisa Turtle, right?
Yeah.
That's not even her
Voorhees.
name, though.
Like
Oh, yeah.
Voorhees.
So-
like Voorhees, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She's so nice. Andrew, who's the stylist for Wingman magazine out of New
Yeah.
York, that's kind of how we've gotten these opportunities. He'll call me with certain celebrities and be like, "Do you want to meet him?" I'm like, "Of course." So I got to meet her, and she was super sweet. She's like, "Oh, do you like how the do-rag's on?" I was like, "Oh my god, you look amazing." I got to meet AJ McClain from the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, nice.
Wait, which one is he?
AJ.
He's AJ.
No, he's the goatee guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, okay. I know my Backstreet Boys.
And he's super nice too. Yeah.
Anthony's over there. It's AJ, man.
freaking
What
know
do you
that.
mean? You don't know who AJ is?
Come on, man.
Nah, that's crazy. So, okay, you've met Saved by the Bell, Backstreet Boys. I mean,
Steve-O.
you
Jodie
s-
Sweetin?
Oh, Jodie Sweetin is, oh my gosh, she's so nice.
from Full
Full
House,
House.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
The middle sister,
Yeah.
huh?
Yes.
Look at that. Sheesh. Man, you guys are meeting everyone. That's cool. That's like my whole childhood right there. Like, that's like typical 90s. Saved by the Bell, Full House, and then you had the music of Backstreet Boys. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
more do you
very
guys
true.
want?
I mean, we even had like a weird encounter with Michael J. White.
Who's he?
Spawn.
Spawn?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because we met,
Do you know him,
we originally
Anthony?
met Michael J. White here in El Paso for a Comic-Con. Came down, at Spawn and everything to sign autographs, but I guess something happened, so he ended up taking off. So back at that particular time, which is about, how many years ago?
5.
A little bit more, right? Maybe 6?
Yeah, maybe 6.
Well, we were doing a pennants, so I had made him a custom one that had like a Spawn logo on it. But, we didn't get to sit like we wanted to. But through Wingman Magazine, we ended up dressing him later on. So it was like come back around. So
That's cool.
That's cool.
Man.
And then you guys had, I think it was on your Instagram, right, Anthony? They had Steve-O wearing.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is
Steve-O.
so cool. And then you mentioned something that I don't want to give away your occupation, but you said like.
Oh, yeah, my
didn't-
students didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Like, dude, what the
Steve-O,
heck?
yeah. I thought everybody would know, but yeah, you get the people and it's like, really? You didn't, Steve? Okay.
You know what? My son's 14, and I was showing him about a year ago during pandemic. I was showing him all the Jackass movies and all, and he's like, "What am I watching?" And I'm like, "You know how you guys watch YouTube, all this stupid? This was before YouTube."
Yes.
And we
right.
used to see these were the guys that they were like the pioneers of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Because all that stuff they did is on YouTube now.
All
Like
that shock
everyone
stuff,
wanted
yeah.
to copy them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. No, that's cool.
I remember like CKY and all that too. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so who is your dream celebrity that you guys would want to wear your clothing? And you guys can have separate ones. You guys don't. You don't have to copy your brother over here.
For me, it's gonna be Nas.
No.
Nas, man.
I love. I think Nas is one of my favorite.
Is it because like, okay, like, don't crucify me here, but like, he's like poetry, right? Like a lot of the stuff he talks about is like,
Well,
and you
exactly.
guys talking about, like your clothing line, the history that you guys go into. You think he would fall right in line what you guys are trying to do?
Well, he's one of my main influences growing up and everything. From listening to the music to like incorporating that into art and everything. I mean, people like Nas kind of give you that. They influence you to be more creative and to step out the box. And I feel like Nas, like since he came into it, like he's always been that doing his own thing and creating new ways. So
Yeah.
I definitely in my art, that's something that I've always. Yeah, I mean, in my room I have a belly picture with him and DMX up there.
For New York Fashion Week, the song that we walked out, because the designers have to walk behind
Yes.
after they show all the looks again,
Yeah.
and we came out to Rare on the
That's
runway.
how we finished
Oh,
up
nice.
our walk and everything. So
That's cool.
Dude, that's cool. And like, do you guys, when it comes to like the music that you guys get to select that music?
Yeah, they let us pick, and normally what we do is we'll sit down, me and him, we'll see how much time we have, and he's like, so what are you feeling right now? Like, I like this, I like this, I like this. He's like, all right, well, I like this, and then we'll give it to...
we pick out a concept based on what we're gonna present, and then we hook up with my homeboy DJ Mark X, and he mixes everything down for us, and then that's how we come. We set off our mix with one of the kids has like something that they'll say like my 8-year-old I have a little snippet of him saying like Imperial Legacy like when he was like 4 years old. So we played that using the opening.
Yeah.
We updated it for New York Fashion Week. So if you remember a movie called Sunset Park, in the beginning of the movie it goes like it says Sunset Park, what time it is. So what I had him do was he says no ILC, what time is it, and then our mix drops. So we just kind of set the tone for everything.
That's cool. And you're a celebrity?
Honestly, I think I would say Lizzo, because I like that she marches to the beat of her own drum and she doesn't really care what anybody thinks. And I feel like that's what we stand for, being positive and being who you are, living out loud. And I don't think enough people do that. I think we're way too worried about what everybody else thinks about us. And so we don't do the things that make us happy. And I love that she just does what she wants and she doesn't care.
Awesome. Before we let you guys go, where do you guys see yourselves in the next 10 years from now?
Everywhere.
Definitely,
Everywhere? Oh,
yeah.
Good answer.
Putting on our own show in Milan, probably having a store
In Japan,
overseas. Oh
different
yeah,
boutiques
definitely.
across the world.
Yeah.
Keep innovating and hopefully get to a point where we can mentor some kids that want to get into fashion too. They don't know where to start. The whole thing is to keep growing and to keep influencing people to grow too.
That's cool. All right, Anthony, do you have any more questions?
Yeah.
for
What's
them?
your favorite part of what you do? Like, is it the designing part, the creative part, watching people wear it? What's the most satisfying thing for you out of it?
It honestly is all the parts.
All of it?
Each part gives me it gives me life. You know, when someone tells me like, oh man, I love this, and then if someone actually catches on past what it is, like especially on my vibe as far as what made me create it, man, just the feeling is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, someone will say something to me. I'm like, hold up, what did you say? And I said, where'd you get that from? And they'll tell me, I'm like, huh, and then we'll have a conversation about it, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
Peter.
No, I'm still blown away. I feel like you guys just scratched the surface on like a lot of the things we didn't know, and like I said, when I brought you guys on, it was more of I wanted to hear your story, your growth, because I just remember talking back about where were we going to be, like kind of how you asked that question, where are you going to be in 10 years? We would talk about that, like, man, what are we going to do? Like, is this where we're at? You know, we're busting our butts, we're doing the grind. And he had an idea. So when I saw that article, I was like, man, they went to New York.
Yeah.
Like, what's been up? Like, what really is going on now? Where do they see themselves going? What direction are they going? And it was just cool to see, like, people could really follow their dreams, you know, like with the work. I'm sure it was hard. I'm sure there was times where you guys were down and you're like, damn, we should just, you know, scratch it. And it's just more of the, I admire the fact that you guys were able to push through and get where you're wanting to be, and you still not even close to where you want to be. You know, there's just so much more out there. So that was the whole reason. Like, we scratched the surface, and I'm sure there's so many other things. But last thing, look into that app. I'm serious. It'll help me out. It'll help me out. But
Nah, don't
I like
do
the idea. I'm telling you, man, I have to do a collaboration, something like that. I'm telling you.
No, well, that's awesome, guys. Like, thank you all for just like coming in and just telling us a little bit about your story. Like Peter said, this is just like a little nugget of like what you guys have done. Hopefully later on down the road, when you guys are doing bigger and better things, you guys don't forget about us. You could come back down, and then maybe dress one of us,
or have a fashion show. We'll have a fashion show.
We
going
got a
on.
stage. We got some music.
Four of us will come out like.
Or
I don't know what song I would come out to.
Or just one day, like you just like dress all of us for the show. Just make us look good.
We'd be down to do that.
Definitely
down to do that.
Definitely down for that.
It's like.
Do you guys want to drop your social media handles or websites?
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, under IL_clothing, and you can find us on Facebook under Imperial Legacy Clothing. And I think that's about it. And if you want to check us out, look through our collections, we're on www.imperiallegacyclothing.com.
Holidays are coming up, man. I think.
And
I'm looking at that. For able.
And we'll be we're about to do a giveaway for a pair of our sneakers, probably like in the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for that.
Nice.
Sheesh. All right. Marcus, Faith, thank you guys again for coming in. It was really fun.
Oh, thank you for inviting us.
No, yeah.
Nothing but fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Sweet. All right, guys, we're going to take a break and we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back from our little break, and it was cool, man. That was the first time on this show that we had some fashion people. I mean, we're a bunch of guys that don't dress very well, but yet for some reason we had some fashion people on the show, and they really educated us, Peter.
Yeah, it was fun to see what they're all about at first, and then they kind of like told us some tips. I got to share my idea for an app.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, guys.
Well, yeah. Marcus even said that was a really good idea. So how likely do you think Marcus is going to run with it, Anthony?
I mean, I think it'd be a good idea. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. You know?
Just go straight to him, man.
Could you, like, we could potentially send that over to Shark Tank, right? Like, your idea.
Yeah, but I don't know how to, like, create apps or anything.
I mean,
Ben, you know how to create an app? Get on the ball.
They have one that, like, sizes you, right? Like, you
I'm
take
sure.
your
Like,
measurements.
I've seen those apps where you, like, point in the corner to fit certain furniture.
Yeah.
Take a picture and all that stuff.
Dude,
like make one where it actually shows you the clothes on you.
Like
before you buy them, so you like know what you look like.
It's kind of like when a player gets traded in sports, like, oh, this is what Aaron Rodgers would look like if he played for the 49ers, and they just kind of Photoshop his head.
There's got to be apps like that.
Yeah,
But this would be something for them that it's their clothing put on people, so you see what you look like. Like we're looking at the in between the break, we're looking at their website, and we're looking at things. And Abel was talking about the little satchel,
like the fanny pack, man purse.
and he was like, "Man, I think I'm gonna get it." But if we had that app, you could like put it around
Yeah.
his body and
Yeah.
see how he looks.
Dude, they were so cool. Marcus and Faith, they're really cool people, really nice. Like Peter said, he mentioned an app, and then I told him about like wearing a purse. And what I liked about them, they didn't really clown on us. You know, they were like, nah, you guys, because we were even like we were clowning on Anthony. Like Anthony even mentioned that man, I haven't
Changed his clothing.
yeah,
since
I haven't
middle
changed my
school.
clothes since middle school.
Yeah,
I've been
like
wearing
my same
Dickies,
style, yeah.
and then they're
And I
like,
haven't shaved in like a year, so like
yeah, and they're like, that's cool, like, because they feel that like their clothing can fit any kind of style out there.
Well, I thought his answer was appropriate when we said who would be a model that you would choose, and they said they'd choose us all.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of cool.
Who did you think they were gonna choose? Did you know that they were gonna say that?
I thought they would have chosen me.
he's the chosen one.
Peter is their ideal model. No, I mean,
I just like the story, how they're local but not really local. Like
Yeah.
I called him a nomad some part in the show, and
Yeah.
I said like he's been to New York. They're from all over. They're a traveling family.
Yeah.
Went to Europe, everything. So you're getting a mixture of things, but they settled here in El Paso, and they're still like they're still putting that their own brand. Like they said, it's not necessarily an El Paso brand. It's a brand that they created for themselves. You know, it's something they're staying true to themselves. I like the whole feeling concepts that they had. Like their clothing line has, I hope I get it right, but it's basically like they go with the feeling, the moods, the mental health aspect of
Yeah.
it, and they seem very passionate on it. So
And then-
that's pretty cool.
I like how Marcus was talking about how they're incorporating like some of the history and stuff
Yeah.
to kind of like educate people.
Well,
on,
I was clicking through, and like each one's different, you know, like. So you do get a history lesson on it. You do get understanding on like mental health and stuff. And the designs are really cool. Like we were really like you could see yourself wearing it on a casual day, and then you could see. I mean, some of the stuff I would be like, I don't think I'd ever pull that off. Maybe like in the early '90s, that Zach Morris shirt one that I saw. That was a cool one.
Remember we used to wear like mom would dress us up in Bugle Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember mom dressed us up like we were twins, and there was an age gap and a size gap. Like Abel was significantly
Yeah, I was like
smaller.
I was like a
certain
circus
point.
midget. Peter was like a normal
It
size
was like
kid.
that. It was like that movie Twins with Danny DeVito.
Yeah, that's how we looked. Yeah. So
That's good.
my mom kept dressing us up until we were like in high school.
Yeah, I was like the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Peter
I was
like
gonna say.
Fat
I
Danny
was gonna
DeVito.
say. No, but it was cool because I think we went through the website. And I think each of us picked something that we liked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just goes to show, you know, that it's
yeah, because
not-
I like the fanny packs, and I also like the slides, the sandals that
The
they
sandals
had.
were cool.
They're really nice. And then
I'm
Peter,
like looking at my shoes here, and I'm like, man, I
dude,
do
their
need some
shoes, dude, their shoes are really cool.
Yeah,
like
they
the
were.
high tops and everything.
Yeah.
And then Peter was looking at some of the board shorts that they had.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, she said it best. Like they can literally dress you from head to toe.
Yeah.
Like there's not one thing on the website that they can't do for you, you know? Like they can put anything on you. And then what I liked is like how they said, because we're like, oh, well, Pat is our little golfer boy, right? He could potentially be out there like wearing their apparel. Like
what about a golf bag?
Oh,
That'd be cool, huh? Like a designer golf bag. Like, how many golfers you see with that?
Dude, that is true, man.
I
Like a
think
Gucci-
the
a
sky's the
Gucci golf
limit for
bag?
them. The fact that they've kept adding like that's one thing they said is they've always kind of evolved with things. You know, like okay, we started with T-shirts,
Yeah.
we started with wooden jewelry,
Mhm.
and then they just kind of grew with that, and then they started incorporating this and doing more things. So I mean, honestly, the sky's the limit. I think that they're awesome. They seem hungry for it. They enjoy what they do. And they were just super lax people. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we had them on. It was a chance to kind of get out of our comfort zone and talk about something. And I'm sure for them to come on into the studio, that was awesome. So
Well, it's just cool too, like to see people follow their passions. You know what I mean? Like, and support them. You know, from the way they started to where they're at now. I mean, I think we can kind of relate in our podcast how
Sure.
we started and where we're at now. You know, and it's just kind of nice to.
I would like
to help
do
each other, you
a
know?
fashion show though.
That would be cool.
Like we come out, boom.
Well, maybe when we get our
Zoolander.
You know how
when I
they
buy
said
our stuff.
You know how they said they came out to Nas when they were in, like, they did Fashion Week. what would be the songs for you guys to come out to?
I'd have to come out something like metal-ish, harder rock,
Again,
something like
Stone Cold.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, that would be mine.
Yeah,
or
I think so.
Heartbreak Kid.
That would be a good one,
It
too.
always goes back to like
that. Anthony would
WWE.
come out to Tool. Look
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
something Tool.
Tool,
Something.
Metallica, maybe.
Anything from Tool.
But anyways, so thanks a lot, Marcus and Faith. You guys are obviously doing some really good things. But anyways,
Yeah, check them out, man.
yeah, check them out. It's
Imperial
Imperial Legacy. But I wanted to go on to someone who's doing some big things, and that's Peter, because he did his first MC gig
Oh, I was like
on Friday. Peter, hey, you're like, don't be so humble.
No,
over
no,
there,
I didn't
man.
know what you were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
Dude,
I totally forgot what you were
I
talking
thought that was cool. Peter, like, it was the first time, because, like, how you got this gig was they actually looked us up, and they saw, like, we put in, like, this little bid, like, because
be
it
the MC.
was brought to me, like, hey, would you like to MC this event? And I was like, really? Like, us? And then it's like, yeah. And I was like, dang, who can, like, do it? Because it wasn't something that, like, all four of us can do, but it was someone that was going to obviously represent this podcast in a professional manner. I mean, not that we're not professional, but, like, I mean, let's be honest. We need somebody that, because it's a jazz little music night, Jazz at Sunset. EPCC was doing it. And Peter, he obviously stepped up and he did his thing, and I mean, it was cool. Peter, how'd you feel doing your first MC gig?
You know what? That day was crazy because I was at work. I had to like change and everything, and then I was like, I can't wear a hat. Like Abel said, it's a jazz fest. You want to be a little bit professional, so then I like comb my hair. I wore a collar shirt. I mean, I wasn't all dressed up, but it was just lax, casual. But it was fun, man. I mean, just going out there. The fact that events are coming back, I didn't even think about it about us, like I'm representing the podcast. It was just fun to see people out and about doing things again, and
Enjoying life, man.
yeah, man, and it was really cool. I guess where I struggled initially was like, how am I gonna approach this? Am I gonna be like try to be super energetic? Am I gonna try to be just quick and out, like in and out? Because it kind of varies with the event.
Well,
you don't want to go on and ramble.
you gotta
like,
kind of vibe.
like sometimes I get on here and I just start rambling and it's like, okay, wrap it up. And I didn't want to be like that there, so I was real.
It's like, we're here for the music.
Yeah,
Shut up already.
Like I was real short. And then we did some like games, like trying to get people to get some
couple of giveaways.
yeah, giveaways that they had and kind of keep them engaged during the intermissions. But I mean, it was fun. It was a learning experience. I mean, if I ever did it again, of course, like anything you do, you're gonna say, hey, maybe I should do this and not do this, or do this a little bit more, do this. But it was fun. It was a fun experience. It was a cool event. I enjoyed the event. Like I would do my thing and then I just go walk off and be with my family and and enjoy the music. It was just fun to be out. It was a perfect night. I mean, the weather was already starting to get cool that night.
Yeah.
And it was just nice.
Yeah, it was cool because the weather, like Peter mentioned, and then at the very end, like the breeze kicked up.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, dude, this is beautiful. It would have been nice, like, if we could have all made it out. I know Pat was doing his thing, and then you stuck at work. But
that's the hard thing. Like, of course, we'd all like to go and represent the show, but it was fun, man. I had a good time. I wasn't really nervous. It was more of how to approach it. Like,
So-
do you want to be energetic and all?
Yeah.
I was just kind of like,
you know what I was just thinking? For their next fashion show, if Peter was to MC their fashion show, like, dude, that would be kind of cool. Look at Peter. He's like, oh, shit. I think I'm retired.
No, I'd definitely do it. Of course, I'd have to see how like people MC those events.
Yeah.
Because I
Got to do your research.
Yeah, because
Can't be like Michael Buffer.
you can't go out there and be like, ladies and gentlemen, like they're all looking at you like,
Shut up! We're here for the
put on the
clothes.
show.
It's like the
I mean,
same. It's the same heckler from
I'm-
the
I'm-
jazz show.
I'm open to anything.
It's
man.
fucking Anthony yelling in the
If
background.
anybody ever wants me to MC their events, I'll
Birthday
definitely
party.
I'll give it a try. Yeah, I'll do birthday parties.
Fucking play by play.
What
Play
we've
by.
all been waiting for. Here comes Lucas.
It's time for the piñata,
Yeah.
dude.
3 swings. Are you?
3 swings and you're done.
I don't know, man. It'd just be fun to MC anything.
Yeah.
Like my own dinner table. Like, here comes the broccoli.
Fucking Thanksgiving.
Who wants some broccoli? Just start flinging it across. My wife's like, I hate the fact that you do this.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you, Peter.
And right now she's texting me like, hey, I thought you said you were done. I'm like, yeah, we're never done when
We're
it gets
never
here.
done.
We just keeps talking.
We're never done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, it was cool. I saw some of the video that Abel shot, and yeah, man, it looked good. It was cool. It was cool. Like I felt proud. Like, man, yeah, Peter's out there fucking repping us. You know?
Yeah, you know what was funny though? So I came out and I said, I'm Peter Carrillo from the Middles Open and EP Sports Network because, you know, I like to give Mondo love too.
Yes.
We help him out. And some guy comes up to me like during one of the intermissions and he's like, EP Sports Network. And he's like, I think you know my brother. His brother is one of the guys that works with Mondo. He's the camera guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Ace. So that was pretty funny. Like, it was just really cool. Like
Yeah.
the fact that some people listen to
Yeah, yeah. They
like,
recognize.
you know,
you.
they don't just totally blow off to
Yeah.
Yeah.
the person that's up there on the mic. Like he was
He's like,
shut up. We want to listen."
Yeah. He's like, while I was standing in line to get my Snickers, I realized that you said EP Sports Network. Yeah, that's my brother.
And they're doing some cool stuff
Yes.
too, man. I want to give them a shout out. They
Yes,
started
definitely.
broadcasting games again.
Yeah,
So that's
Thursday.
really cool.
Thursday was their first broadcast.
So when Mondo hears that, we want to get that. We want to get a next game.
Dude, I kind of honestly want to start broadcasting games again.
Oh, it's
Like,
so fun.
dude, it's seriously the funnest thing.
I think Anthony would be good at it. Like
Think so?
he seems all shy sometimes, but once Anthony gets going,
Get a
he's
few
like, oh, he's
beers in
coming
me.
around the end. Oh.
Who would you be like, Anthony? Because
I don't
obviously
know.
you would be like Color. You would be like the
The
fucking
analyst kinda.
Troy Aikman, Tony Romo kind of. But who would be the guy that you would want to copy? Not copy, but kind of follow their lead.
I don't know.
You don't
That's
know.
hard,
It'd
man.
be like John Madden.
Because I wouldn't want to kind of. I guess I wouldn't want to emulate any of them.
Yeah.
You just do your own thing.
Yeah,
right?
I would
'Cause
kinda just
you're
do my own
fucking-
thing, but
dude,
I can appreciate like the way Romo does. Like
Dude, you're knowledgeable. Like when it comes to cowboy football.
I ended up being like Jason Witten up there.
Oh, dude.
Get
Nah,
fucking fired.
dude, that guy was horrible.
Dude, I was listening to the UTEP game on the radio
Yeah.
yesterday, and I thought it was cool that they mentioned like Dumas or the guy
Aaron
that-
Dumas?
Yeah, that used to play for Americas.
Yeah.
and it was just like, man, we called his games, and
Yeah.
we knew he was gonna be like Division One.
Well, that's crazy because you had the two running backs,
From
one
El
from
Paso.
UTEP and one from New Mexico, okay? And Aaron Dumas, he plays for New Mexico, UNM, the Lobos. We called him when he was a sophomore, and you already knew this kid was going to be good. Like, this kid was one of the best in the state of Texas, okay, as a sophomore. And, like, that's no joke. Like, he was up there
Damn.
in terms of yardage and all-purpose yards. Then you had Dion Hankins from Parkland, and, dude, he killed it too, man. Like, you knew for a fact this kid was going to be someone special. And he was also following, like, the footsteps because that's when Aaron Jones was, like, he was at UTEP and he went on to bigger and better things, and you're like, damn, dude, like, could El Paso get, like, another running back? And you had, like, Dion Hankins coming out of Parkland, and then you had, like, Aaron Dumas that was, like, a young running back, and you're like, dude, what the heck? Like,
And then you hear about these running backs right now that are playing
like
in high
Tavares Jones from Burgess,
school.
like,
Martin from
LJ Martin
yeah,
from
LJ Martin.
Canotillo. Like, and they're all getting, like, Division I offers now, which was something that you kind of look back at Aaron Jones because Aaron Jones went to UTEP, and, like, it's not that we're clowning on UTEP, but there wasn't that opportunity for Division I, you know, like, players here in El Paso to go to a Division I schooling, and Aaron Jones broke it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he went to UTEP, without an offensive line.
He brought the scouts basically.
Yeah,
They put El Paso on the map.
Exactly.
Where people are like, you know what? Hey, we need there's some talent there.
Without an offensive line, he was able to like just tear it up with the Miners, and it's like ridiculous because you knew exactly what the Miners were gonna do, like give it a number 33, you know, and that's it. It's just cool, like Peter said, like to be commentating on these high school games, and now fast forward 3-4 years later,
And you see them playing
And you see
Division
them
One.
Division
They're
One.
playing college ball. That's crazy.
it is, yeah, man. But
Well, hopefully he brings it back and starts doing a little bit more, right?
it would be great, dude.
Yeah.
Do you think Aaron Jones could potentially win the MVP this year? Because last game he had like 4 touchdowns.
I mean, he's on pace, right? I think I saw a thing. He was like 3rd or something in touchdowns for running back.
Is he?
I don't know. Let me double
Dude,
check.
but he's been on the map for a few years now, like as one of the top running backs. And it's like, it would be the coolest thing if he can win. It would be the coolest thing if he could win like the NFL MVP. You know? It would really just I don't know. It would just do something different for the city. I think like every time I see these stories of like El Pasoans doing big things on the big stage, it just like for some reason get like super sentimental. Like I'm like, oh man, that's our guy, you know?
I'm just waiting for like one of the guys that we call football for, like they win a Super Bowl down the line. That'd be. I remember I used to call his high school game. I don't know, man. Yeah, you always have that pride of where you're from, you know. So of course,
man. But anyways, I don't know, man. I think that's our show right now.
I think so. There's football going on. There's golf ending.
Golf is ending. The Ryder Cup.
I gotta get home because
Football.
I
Peter
got
needs to go
food
do
at
his
home.
Food, and you need to do your chores.
I got no. Oh, shut up, people.
Don't remind.
But anyways, Anthony, anything you want to add before we close up?
Nah, man, good episode, man. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was a good episode for sure.
Yeah, Peter.
Nah, I just want to give love to Imperial Legacy for coming out. Go check out their website. Go check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe. And I'm back on Twitter. We just fixed that,
we just
right?
got that
Like,
squared
for a
away.
long time we weren't on Twitter for.
Good job, Peter.
Yeah, we got something accomplished today. So, yeah, go check out all those sites and all. And we'll be putting out content.
Well, I just want to thank Marcus and Faith one more time for coming in studio, hanging out with us. I mean, we're not the coolest people to hang out with, but they found some time to do so. And I just want to thank Marcus because he said it's okay for me to wear a man purse now.
We can't wait to get home and go put it on right
Dude,
now.
seriously, I'm gonna go steal Yadi's purse now. I'm gonna wear that Calvin Klein
Like
purse.
she took your sandals, you take her purse.
Yeah, dude, I'm serious. I always put on that purse. Like when we're at the store,
Hey,
she's like,
let's bring it back. Like
she's like, you don't have to wear it, Abel. Like I could hold it. I'm like, no. Like
Yvonne has some too. Like there's a stack of them just hanging. I'm just gonna take one.
her purse
Okay, real quick. What would be in your bag?
in my bag.
Yeah.
My phone.
Right.
My wallet. To like, cause I still want my
Yeah,
cards
yeah.
like organized.
Your basics, yeah, but like what else? Like what random thing would you have in there that like?
I'd have like peanuts and
Peanuts,
Pe-
sunflower
snacks?
sunflower
You said
seeds,
snacks?
a
Okay.
Dorito
Yeah,
bag.
I'd have.
Um,
I'd have some tools.
Have you
in
ever
mine
gone
for
shopping?
sure.
Peter's like, I would
if
have
you
a
ever go
flask.
shopping with my wife, you need snacks. It's like a freaking all day event.
I think I'd have tools in mine, like a screwdriver.
Anthony's like, I'll have my slingshot, my boomerang. You know, never know when you're gonna.
Tools. He's walking around somewhere. He just starts screwing the bench.
Does somebody have a wrench?
Somebody
And
could trip
Anthony's
over this.
Just over there fixing random shit, man.
No, I mean,
Or doing the devious lick challenge.
Oh no.
Oh,
You know, like
no,
unscrewing urinals and all.
what? Dude, that's crazy that
That's
people
the
are doing
dumbest
that.
stuff. Actually, Anthony, start a new TikTok trend, and it's like doing good challenge,
Oh,
like
fixing
going
stuff.
around. Yeah,
well,
like
there you go.
tightening the
Let
toilet.
me get my bag and then we'll
like
we'll
the toilet's running, you pull out your man purse with tools, and you start fixing
yeah.
stuff.
fix it, man.
It's like Anthony's about to do something good. He's gonna like fix a bench, and they're like, "He's trying to ruin it."
He
Like,
gets
they're like,
arrested.
yeah.
You're the one that's destroying all this. No, I'm fixing it.
His name's Anthony Espeleta.
Hey, we should start that
Yeah,
TikTok
for sure.
trend. Just like do random acts of kindness,
Yeah.
like just go.
Starting at my house.
Yeah, what would be your guys' talent? Because on TikTok, I've seen this guy. He goes up to random people and he gives them haircuts. He's like, hey, he's like from Philly. He's like, hey guys, my name's so and so. Can I give you a haircut? And they're like, no, I'm good. And he's like, no. Like, I just want to give you. I'm trying to give back through giving haircuts. And he like does really good.
Real quick. Okay, so it's kind of frowned upon when people do something nice and they record it, right?
Yeah.
However, if we do something bad and record it, it makes a trend and everybody wants to do it. So if you're trying to make a trend of doing something good and recording it, why do people crap on you, kind of?
Because that's the world we live in, Peter.
It's.
I mean, because
more
they're like,
popular
oh,
than
you
hate.
want credit for it, but it's like,
How
no,
dare you give to
maybe
the poor?
that's the way to push things on people. I mean, because remember how like back then they used to walk and give you a pamphlet and say like, hey, be a good person. Here's a,
Yeah.
I don't know. And now, like you see someone and people get mad, like, oh, they're just
Doing it for
trying to
clout.
they're just trying to get their clicks
Yeah.
or their likes
Yeah.
for doing something nice. But it's like,
It's that damn if you do. And
yeah,
damn if you don't.
do, damn if you don't.
Yep.
Anyways, that was where I was.
You know what really grinds my gears?
I say we start that TikTok challenge. I don't have TikTok though. Let's do it on
We'll start a Middles Open TikTok.
Yeah.
YouTube, the little shorts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So be on there.
We'll open up a TikTok on YouTube. All right. Anyways, yeah. So that was our episode, guys. Awesome episode. It's good to have Peter back in the studio. Pat, you need to get back in. Hopefully, all four of us are back in, and we just start like hanging out again.
Yeah.
Oh, really
Like the old
really
times.
quick before we close up, I reached out. You know how we've been wanting to get Ramiro for the longest time.
Yes,
Because we
yes.
thought it was fair to him to get him back in studio, not
Right.
just through Zoom or whatever. Reached out to him. We're starting the conversation. Hopefully we could get him very, very soon. I know he did an investigation. Maybe he could tell us, give us a little something on that. I know they're going to be broadcasting that. So yeah, Ramiro, fingers crossed. If you guys don't know who Ramiro is, he is like a paranormal investigator here in the borderland. So yeah, hopefully we could get him in studio. But yeah, guys, that was our episode. Thank you so much for listening. This was Middles Open.